It's God, Jesus, it's God, Jesus, His name is Jesus. His name is Jesus. Okay, welcome to all of our viewers watching. This is the program, The Focal Point on Focal TV. Today happens to be the day, 20, Monday, 26th of June editions on the Focal TV. My name is K. Lyndon Trooper, your honorable presenter on Focal Point. So for all those of you who are watching, please start sharing the video at the moment so that we can be able to rumble into the issues of greater importance. Kindly share the video. Today seems to be today seems to be a wet day in the capital, Monrovia. The rain has started early this morning, and it appears that from all indications we are actually in the rainy season. So the entire area seems to be overly wet. Keep sharing the video. Keep sharing the video. Invite others to watch. This is the most awesome program on the League of Communications Incorporated. And keep sharing the video. The moment I have at least 2 or 3 viewers, I will rumble into the issues of greater importance. So share the video. Share the video. One person has started watching already. Two person. Keep sharing the video. Share the video. So let's run straight quick into the issues that we will be looking at today. Uh, Roughly by 5:15, we will be paying hope to Cooper Passaway, who is the public relations officers of the Monserrado United Party chapter. He will be our guest, and we will talk some critical national issues that concerns our nation's Liberia. And we will also discuss some key issues that has to do with his Unity Party. The Unity Party has been mostly involved into a whole lot of activities because in the wake of doing everything possible to ensure that they can be able to democratically replace President Weah. So another issues of greater importance, it has to do with the ongoing investigations into the death of Charlotte Musu. This this story has been widely attracted by many Liberians home and abroad, and a lot of them are determined that the ongoing investigation is being politically manipulated, while others are saying the police and the judiciary systems are proceeding in the right direction. So kindly share videos as many as possible so that they too can be able to have a gist of what we are going to discuss here on today. So, so let us talk. Uh, since February 22nd, I stand to be corrected if those of you who are watching since February 22nd, uh, there was this news that broke out about the death of Charlotte Musu. the daughter of the daughter of former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scout. Her name is Charlotte Musu. She was a promising graduate of the Star University College. We all know where Star is. This is one of the institutions that teaches computer technologies, information technologies, and all of stuff. So when the news broke out, they said two persons, one person died, and the person who died was Charlotte Musu, the daughter or the niece of former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scout. So, as per what we are hearing from the very statement from the former Chief Justice, she said when the situation occurred, what she did was that she she ran to friend Musa Din's house to have him informed. I want to believe it was upon the kind of situations, upon the move that she made at the residence of the justice minister, that will have the police informed very frantically through ICOT to start the investigation. But there have been a whole lot of argument from the flip side of the coins pertaining to what she's supposed to do and what needed to have been done. But my argument here is that the former Chief Justice, like every other Liberian, should have been protected. Should have been protected because on two separate occasions, I heard that the Chief Justice firstly appeared on OKFM, where she was telling the Liberian people, telling the stakeholders that her house was being consistently attacked, and this government or the police did not act as expected. What the police said was that they intensified patrol in that particular terrain, the Broadway end. They intensified their patrol. But in my opinion, the intensification of their patrol was not very sufficient. What we expected them to have done was to quickly assign a team of police officers to provide security for the Chief Justice. But the police did not do that. The police did not do that. Few days ago, the police has been investigating this case, but there are lots of people who are saying, who want to understand why has the police been so slowed into the investigations of such a grave matter. There has been a call from so many civil society organizations about that particular situation. A lot of people are concerned. Why is it that the police has been very slow about the investigation? You understand? So the police came out with a charge, with multiple charges that indicted the former Chief Justice Gloria Musu Scout and 3 other family members. They charged them for what? Murder, criminal conspiracy, and for making false alarm. So everyone became shocked. Like I said, almost everyone became shocked. How could that be? So immediately after she was indicted based upon the police investigation, she was detained. She was detained. Some people felt that it was a violation on her rights. And not just only her, but all of those people who were persons of interest in that particular case. 3 other family members were also similarly indicted. They were detained. The next day, her lawyer filed a writ of habeas corpus at Criminal Code C. And there was then Judge Dixon Blamo, who is the presiding judge at Criminal Code C. He said he honored that brief that was filed by her legal team. But one of the things that keeps me very, very interested is the fact that many legal and experienced legal practitioners have started to get so much heat. If you look at the Chief Justice legal team, you will notice that the numbers is almost hitting 30 plus now. A lot of people feel that this is a complete disrespect to somebody who has served this country, and they perceive the ongoing investigation as a witch hunt, a political witch hunt, only because the Chief Justice on two separate occasions, or even more, has been leading a legal suit in favor of the Unity Party. Some people interpret that the government is actually wants to embarrass her. The government actually wants to blush the image of the Chief Justice. So this is where the argument is. So as we speak, the former Chief Justice Gloria Musu-Scout and three others are still in custody at the Monrovia Central Prison. This is something that has attracted. The moment you try to discuss this issue, a lot of people tend to listen because they want to see the final outcome of the investigation. We cannot say that the government, I cannot sit in this position or use this medium to say that the government is proceeding wrongly, but at the same time, the government must be 100% sure of the level of indictment they have raised against former Chief Justice Gloria Musu-Scout. Because this is an ear splitting. This is an ear splitting allegations: murder, criminal conspiracy, and for making false alarm. These are grave allegations. So, as per our legal doctrine, it says that the burden of proof lies squarely in the hands of those who accuse you. If somebody accuses you, the person bears the greater responsibility to prove that you are indeed guilty of what they have said against you. So this is where the government finds why her legal team will be fighting to ensure that she becomes exonerated from this particular case. The government has a very great responsibility to also play. The government has. I don't know as to whether the government wants to, because they have lost the 100 million drugs case, so they want to utilize this particular case as a stepping stone to prove or to raise impression that yes, this government is being very, very, very real when it comes to when it comes to the legal system. But on a very serious note, the fact that the government lost this 100 million drugs case, in my opinion, it sent a very bad signal to our international community. It actually sent a very bad image to our international community. So we will stop then. We will not want to expand this discussion. I will just notify my producer so that he can quickly get our guest in. So our guest is no one else but Cooper passed away. He happens to be the public relations officer, Montserrat chapter Unity Party. So we will basically be discussing that, discuss other critical national issues. So the man by the name Cooper passed away, one of the famous caller on many of the talk shows in Liberia. Cooper passed away. He often says that whenever you hear him on the radio, he say, "I call him from my reading room. Call him from my reading room." So, so we now have with us in studio Cooper passed away, the public relation officer for the Unity Party Maserati chapters. So, good day, Mr. Passaway.
Thank you, Topa, and let me appreciate you guys for the studio. It's a correct and organized studio have been built. I'm proud to this my first day. So I want to appreciate the management for such a wonderful studio.
Okay. So how is the Unity Party by the way?
But Unity Party is okay. Even the hour ago, the Stand Up Unity Party addressed the nation. He spoke about the just issue that our brothers and sisters are dying gradually as related to the famous just called KUS. Sometimes they call it KUS Pope Mass. Different nomenclature have been given to that dangerous substance that our young brothers and sisters are using. And it's not easy for us, right? You are aware in the media every day. In that West Point and Newtown, Bannerville, New Joy, maybe 1 or 2 persons will die from that environment just because of that dangerous substance. Or because the entire country is vulnerable. No major activities in order to move the guys on the street. Guys are there in order to have a bright future. What they do in the public is to gather in one corner, discuss things that will make them happy because the fact that they are vulnerable, it suggests that they will find things that will make them happy. And in the happiness, they find favor in KUS. So most of the ticket, they call it running man. But other nomenclature because they feel when they take those substances, they make them satisfied, make them brave to do those evil things.
So what you earlier said in your introductory statement that your political leader, former Vice President Joseph Yema Boakai, spoke about that. What emphasis did he really lay about the ongoing drug situations in Liberia?
Yes, you are very clear this afternoon. He said that if given opportunity to serve as president for Liberia, come to a 10th of war, he's going to put mechanisms in place in order to reduce the inflow of those substances in the country. For instance, the very border, the very airport, seaport, and the rest of the entrances people use to import those substances, he's going to make sure he put security in place, make sure he put train and qualify people despite your political affiliation. If he come to the presidency, he noticed that his solution is a qualified security president. He has control over.
So in short, you are insinuating that one of the reasons why the drugs is being consistently smuggled into the country is the fact that there has not been a very good or vibrant security protocols.
You are right. You know how the government is proceeding. All the government does is to give job to people that seem battleground over the year because we have professional people that were trained in order to combat those bad substances. They understand the terrain. But because the president came to power, he noticed that if I give job to people outside of CDC, to be specific, I think they will honor my government. That is why you see the government is going the way it's going.
Government is going the way it is going. Oh, I want to ask you again, back to the various questions that I asked you. Oh, how is the Unity Party? Because this year is a very crucial year, and the Unity Party has been making series of visitations in and outside Monrovia. How is the Unity Party preparedness as we move towards the electoral process?
We are prepared 100%. In fact, months ago in the media, they said Unity Party was broke. But when we display some vehicles as relate to the preparation for the election, people say, oh, Unity Party borrow money. Unity Party is this. I can tell you for free, the government is a fair. We are prepared. We have put all of our acts together. Days ago, we have retreat with all our collaborating political party members. The leg of Matilda Cooper, the leg of Yomi Kanga Lawrence, who is the rescue mother, and a whole lot of stakeholders, governors themselves in a confined area, no battle cry, no wearing bearer, where they discuss things to move the country forward. So I can tell you for free that upon giving the opportunity to save this country, Ambassador Boga is going to work with like minds in order to change the narrative.
Ambassador Boubacar is going to work with like-minded individuals to change the narrative of Liberia. Okay, let's move on to other critical issues that has to do. What is as President Boubacar is championing his bid to become president of Liberia in October, he comes up with this platform called Arrest. Can you clearly define, because this array appears to be an acronym, can you further elaborate on this quote unquote Arrest platform?
Thank you. 2017, when we went to the debate, we spoke about rule, and the CDC KPA. So this time around, we come with Arrest. The first thing, the A stands for agriculture. You can look at that. The R stands for rural. The E stands for education. The S stands for sanitation, and the T stands for tourism. Because if you try to synchronize them, if you build good right, you have access to commodity living from one end to another. It's an agriculture issue. Days ago, months ago, the government complained that Boubacar presided over the agriculture sector. There was nothing good to be shown, but history proved that when Boubacar presided over the agriculture sector, Lufa country was the bread basket, right? If people brag in this country that were eating country rest, I would call the country rest, like people could feed themselves, people could bring products from one end to another easily. But since President we have took over, he struggled, go at the agriculture ministry, since the board one, Jenen Cooper. She had big portfolio, she worked in the private sector for years. Prior to her appointment, people were secret that she's going to perform, but check the agriculture sector.
Do you see any changes in with the fight that?
Nothing different. They see whole story. They see fighting. Go at the agriculture ministry currently. The deputy and the minister proper cannot speak.
The deputy and the minister proper cannot speak. Oh, few months ago, President Joseph Dima Boubacar said that when given the opportunity to serve as president of Liberia, he would target the issue of accessibility that has to do with road connectivity in the first 100 days. Since he made a particular statement, thousands of Liberians have bashed at him for that particular statement. What is your reaction to that particular statement?
Thank you. I think sometimes comprehension is the problem, right? If the ambassador said that in 100 days, I'm going to see our best.
Was he speaking figuratively?
Let me agree with you, yes. Because it's not possible in your own mind, not possible in 100 days to complete all the road after pavement. It's not possible.
Do you slightly disagree with the ambassador on that particular issue?
He spoke with a very professional background. He said, for instance, if he had a road from here to go Sanikoli, he's going to use the greater to say the greater road to be people where people will get access to the area easily with rural villages.
But Mr. Cooper, Mr. Passaway, are you cognizant of the fact that before the government grants contracts to other people, there are a series of processes attached? How is the Joseph Boubacar going to fast track all of those activities?
For instance, if you have a rule from Madina to Rawasport, you have a very general rule, and the government are embarked on trying to repair that rule. If the vice president walk out to the public minister, we have equipment. We don't have necessarily have to give all the contract. We have equipment. We can use the equipment to see how we can pave the rule. Then we get into the negotiation because at the legislature where they rectify the agreement, so we can also the pavement, the upper pavement that road from Madina to Rawasport is very vibrant and experienced company where we are going to get opportunity also to check our track record. We're not going to just give somebody one night, just bring report, you bring people who we get company then tomorrow, Joseph Boubacar, what you contract, you mess up tomorrow, they bring going. No, he has technicians that work in the government before. And the advantage Uniparty have currently. We have people that work in the system before, they are being trained, they have the experience. So we work with those people, we not find it difficult to critique documents that are coming for instance, the Eton Iboma loan came. We charged that 2 loans because we noticed that it was a Puka loan. We have technicians who send people out of the country to verify those agreements, and they came back and said, Puka those were scared. People just group themselves, people look in the government, they group themselves in order to use the government because they have incompetent people, inexperienced people to just pass that loan concomitantly in order to get feedback or kickback how you got it. So when Ambassador Boubacar take all this contract for free, we are going to put mechanism in place in order to take every little information that comes to the government.
Okay, the World Bank has said repeatedly, time we've had another, that one of the greatest potentials of Liberia is when the Liberian government taps into agriculture. what is Joseph? What is President? What is former Vice President is going to do that may be slightly different from the trend of President Williams' governments?
President Williams not doing anything. So if you're trying to use it as an example, I think it's taking the fact that President Williams took over the country. He said agriculture was one of the priorities, but yeah, when the last time the country rest, you cannot remember. He came with 419, he didn't give any platform, he just go to public email, he made political statement, the realization is negative. So I can take for free, but the worker have been tested, have been put in the agricultural sector. If you take all this country, I can tell you, if your country will produce our own rice, he's going to see how best those farmers are going to add value to them, give them tools, give them the necessary equipment in order to help them grow their own food. We'll not be running to China every time, going to Taiwan to pay for rest. We'll make sure before the rest season comes, because the seasonality in the country, try rainy season. We'll not wait to be complaining with dry season, complaining, rain season, complaining, because the government does not have plan. If you want to face growth, for example, you can't wait for rain season to be back on facing growth. We're not achieving anything much. The fact that Ambassador Bouaka understands the agricultural sector, he's going to see how best they give those equipment to those agriculturalists in order to prepare their own food and farm. Because if you prepare your farm on time, you do the cultivation, the harvest, you're not find it difficult. You're not going on the reed to go harvest. Right?
So what method of farming activity do you want to do? Do you see that President that can actually widen the gap from the previous strain of agricultural activity that is currently
sustainable farming? Will start sustainable farming. The fact that a farmer can sustain his or her family, times go by, they can expand the farm in order to do exploitation. But if you cannot sustain yourself as a farmer, you can't give up, because for instance, you cannot go, you get 2 bags of rest, you go in the market to go sell those rest. What you benefit? What happened to your family? So if you can sustain your family in the first 6-7 months, times go by, you can expand the farm, you hire more workers, you do more harvesting and everything, you get more rest, you get opportunity to eat more, you sell a little. Gradually, you expand yourself and you become silver-minded business person through farming.
Through farming, gradually. Okay. Over the weekend, in the ongoing investigations of former Chief Justice with regards to the death of the late Charlotte Musu, I saw few executive members of the Unity Party. What were they actually doing when she was being taken, taken to the Monrovia Central Prison? What were they actually doing there?
It's a form of solidarity, right? Councillor Star Ben, our lawyer, through all the CTP conversation at the Ministerial Court and National Election Commission, she then pleading case for us. Even the Liberty Party, the Yobi faction of the Liberty Party, she has stood by them, she has become a lawyer. So coming out with such grave allegation against her, and to just allow her to go freely with all identification. For instance, we're not going to go in the prison compound, but the fact that she see people, she identify people in solidarity with her, again, most spend more energy to fight that legal battle.
So how do the Unity Party folks perceive this this ongoing investigation?
On the overall, we feel it's political question, right? Because yes, a few weeks ago, Unity Party embarked on discreet visitation. The government noticed that Unity Party getting her moral back, the support base growing gradually, the merchants are resonating well in the ears of the people. Whenever Blocker make move on the rescue team, appear in the district, the people come out in their numbers. You don't have to give them teacher, you don't have to carry buses. So the government have wisdom feel that the only way we stop the people from going far to distract them, I best reawaken the Mususka case in order to weaken them. So reawakening the Mususka, the Grand Mususka case, I think they try to create distraction for us. But to that surprise, we bounce back. Even today, as I said earlier, the Standard United Party responded to the government as it related to the just issue. We have our plan visitation in the various counties, everything on course. We're just waiting for a date, and we'll move in.
Can you with the ongoing investigations, can you preempt? Can you predict the outcome of this case based upon the higher court, the exhaustations of all of the legal issues? Can you predict the outcome of this case?
As I speak to you, there's no indictment.
There's no indictment. This came down with an indictment.
There's no indictment. There's no indictment.
The police actually came down with an indictment.
I think they came with charges, but no indictment.
Yeah, but it is indeed an indictment.
An indictment, the grand jury should receive the evidence to convince them beyond reasonable doubt that yes, there's a probable cause in order to indict people or to agree with the police investigation that yes, they committed a crime, murder.
So why, if you are saying that there is no indictment, why is she being held in on a police on a hostage?
Thank you. When they took off first at the Liberia National Police Station, her lawyer came in and filed a rate, couple, and she was released to the lawyer the next day. The government went for her again, they issued another rate with fewer charges on her, and they accepted it. The rate they came to the court, and because no time to go through the hearing to the magistrate court, they had to transfer to the holding cell. There is no other holding cell besides South Beach. She went to South Beach, and the next day the lawyer came to the magistrate court again, filing bond, and they rejected it, denied the bond on ground that the bond is sufficient enough to to take her home. Howbeit, the case has been transferred to the criminal court A. And very soon the government is playing a game where we receive information the government want to hear the case in August.
The government wants to hear. So it means that you are saying that the government wants to, so she will be under police detention until
That is a political tactics. That's the tactics they want to play in order to hold the former chief justice, to create distraction for us. We abandon all of our activities, our outreach activities, and focus on the government. The government want for we need the street protesting. You say, oh, you see, the people want to take over this country. Instead of going by the rule of law, they are protesting. Somebody committed a crime. So these are distractions. We follow all of those activities. We make sure our legal luminary are on the case. We are focusing on our favorite county tour in order to convince the people that Ambassador Broker is the rightful person. Come October 10th for them to vote for him.
Ambassador Blackheart is the rightful person. So we, folks, for all of you who are watching us now, we are in conversation with Corporate Passaway, who happens to be the PRO, Public Relations Officer for Unity Party Monserrato chapter. And we are here discussing critical national issues as it unfolds to the trend of developments in Liberia. So kindly share the video, invite many as possible to watch with you. Honorable Passaway, as political people Passaway, as he prefers to be called all of the time. This is one of the persons who I hear very often on the radio. He always tells the Liberian people that he is reading. I know he is following from his reading room. So, Mr. Passaway, how do you think? Do you in any way think that this case is a political witch hunt that is intended to distract the Unity Party from its course of activities?
I said yes. On ground that when the case started, one of the permanent person in this government was measured in the investigation was Sebastian Tanakochi. So the government noticed that over the time, Kochi had been in the public for a negative reason. So many things took place. People gave testimony that the guard that went at the house, Honorable Scout, alleged that she's pepper sprayed the person worked with Josie Kochi and one of the security person. At first, Honorable Kochi had a very elaborate press conference and denied knowing the person. Later, they will know that the brother worked at MCC, and the story just came. Later, it died perpetually. I was so surprised when the investigator took to the regular press briefing at Mika. And what one of the investigators said was, for the record, through all of our investigation, Jefferson Kochi and Tally, there are no party to the case. They had nothing to do with the case. In fact, they are free. So I laughed. The first thing somebody alleged that SYC president was involved into the case. Allow the president to go to court, let the president exonerate himself. But the fact that you came and open it to the public that through your investigation, quote unquote, those guys are free, nobody has nothing to do with the case. So it was just so funny that I think the press conference only called to exonerate Jefferson Kochi because she's sitting near Oruvia.
So the press conference was called to exonerate Jefferson Kochi. So, do you feel that Jefferson Kochi is the mastermind behind all of what is happening at the moment? Do you feel so?
I will not come up openly to say that because I don't have proof. But the fact that Jefferson Kochi denied the president that was mentioned first in the situation because Councilor Sky not ordinary president, she been around for some time. You know that she served in so many capacities in this country. Why she did not say Cooper Passing, why she did not say John Brown. But she alleged that SYC president entered her house and she used pepper spray on the president.
But one of the things we need to get here straight is the fact that I cannot recall At what point in time did Councillor Gloria Musu Scout allege that Vanity was the one who she may have pepper sprayed? So hearing it from you is indeed very shocking to me.
Thank you. Yes, it's right.
Mm-hmm.
German Federal have so many arts in this country. You know German Federal, right? The role he plays in our society. He has a movement in this country. People work for him directly. When the situation occurred, German Federal talked to so many media platforms. He did say that Felix Tally was the one that was pepper sprayed by Gloria Musu Scout. And he challenged the Liberian government to bring him forth for him to deny what or not pepper spray or not spray in his face. So later we got information that he was on the run to satisfy because he worked for Jeff. And Honorable Jeff Otikochi admitted that yes, he's one of his workforce in the MC at MCC, right? So a major press conference was called. I follow a press conference sometimes when the major happening taking place. I can do the social media following the body language of those that presided on the press conference. The journalists are there asking the hard question. Those journalists are asking promotional questions. We can be there for the activities. So during the press conference when Tally was presented at MCC, he tried to struggle on presenting the article, right? He said during the naming ceremony of his daughter, he went around. In fact, he worked 2 hours that day at MCC. So, Predator tell me, we follow the Muslim, I have a Muslim background. We know what it takes to name your child. That's one of the most beautiful and elaborate and celebrated movement that every parent can wish for. So you tell me that because MCC work, if that brother aware that the name of your child was very important to him.
So you believe that the police is not very sincere.
They're not doing well for themselves. That is why you see the cases of political case, right? I can tell you for free that the case will be like the cooking case. The government will just feel a buster and round time go by and the freedom go on ground. They will interfere, no evidence presented, they play with the juror, so there's no for the win the case. You know what happened to the cooking case, right? I think you try to discuss in the fight. The government came with a whole lot of energy, running here and there, CC money. The government went the code, what happened? The people acquitted, the people left, the people walk free. The next day, people on flight, going to different places.
Okay, let us try to discuss about that particular case. What as per the verdict that was produced into that particular case, what do you think? What signal? If I'm talking about signal, what kind of message does this send out to our international partners?
That this justice is not serious. They're not serious because the president ambassador himself spoke after the verdict. He expressed his disappointment in the government.
So, who do you hold accountable for the kind of the current pollutions in the justice systems now?
Currently, I think the justice minister is one of those persons we should hold responsible because he sometimes allowed politics to overplay his professionalism. As a professional person, legal person, we all know Musa Deen, the role he played in our society. Musa Deen, you are aware that you are the official prosecutor of the country.
But a lot of people say that one of the reasons why Musa Deen is not proceeding the right way he should be proceeding is the fact that he has an alignment with people in the opposition. What's your reaction to this?
The first thing, every judge we have a relationship with people in the opposition. So everybody that working government doesn't mean people in the opposition. Anyway, people have friends, people went to school with people have family relationship, but just because political difference, it doesn't mean that you can go for family meeting. For instance, my brother is assistant minister, and I'm in the opposition. I work for United Party, so for family meeting, my brother should not attend the meeting because Copa is the opposition. No, people have relationship outside of government. So if you go to government, it doesn't mean your relationship with your relative or friend should be curtailed or should be cut because of that. No. As I said to you, I know Jeff. We've been friends prior to him extending to that position. I see me. So it doesn't mean when Jeff come around for Eastern and run a committee and see Jeff, I should go back. I should change my direction because Jeff is there. No. I should not interfere in activities. If he came to Tomo, for example, to do his city mayor work, I should not be there to create distraction for him. Or in that meaning, a causing problem for himself.
So you believe that the government have overwhelming evidence that they could use to bring those involved?
The government is bluffing. The government does not have evidence to charge people for murder.
No, I'm talking relatively to the drugs case.
Yes, because the government, she didn't take her time to carry all the investigation well. When the news broke out that people have continued in the port with drugs in the government will when no lawyer want to eat money. So the fact that they hear that kind of case, they push the justice minister They created a budget. They start running after people. They arrested people that have no connection to the drugs. But the real cartel, the real people are available. The government does not want to go after them.
Do you hold the view that there's a need for recalibrations in the justice system under President Weah?
No. The first thing President Weah himself should leave the presidency because we need somebody responsible with experience to bring people to those positions to make sure that those positions should be functional. I listened to one of the prosecutors this morning, Lafayette Gu. He said there's no electricity at the justice ministry, there's no internet facility. So a second.
But someone could argue that many of the constraints or challenges that this government is faced with may have been inherited from the previous government, where Joseph Boakai served as vice president.
So for how long? You took over the country in 2018. So we are in 2023, we're going to election. So you're comparing shape blame. What have you done? The first thing, as a responsible and mature government, you take over the justice ministry. And you noted that justice ministry was temper with all those people that presided over the justice ministry. They are Liberians. What happened? The president failed to honor those people because he knows how he won the election. He knows. He maintained, first he condemned the uniparty government, but yet he maintained people that serve his strategic position in the government for Eastern Eugene Language. Vandy Salif, Mary Brown. These are people that work in Marzeni government. So he said Marzeni government failed, the uniparty government didn't perform, while maintaining those people that didn't perform. That is a contradiction.
It is indeed a contradiction. You say that is the voice of Kopo Passaway. He is preferably called political Kopo Passaway. He said the government is on a fiasco because we needs to be booted out democratically. That is the voice. He has said it. It is not me who is driving the show has said it. So let us talk about other issues that has to do with the government performance. So you have been very critical about this government. Many a times I listen to you, and the voice is also even being highlighted in the print media, in the electronic media. What area, since this government took over in 2018, that you would like to applaud this government for?
Thank you. I think the fishery department, Glasgow is doing what she's trying her best. The lottery department, Nangwe is doing her best, but people Nangwe is doing her best, is trying her best. And so far, so good. I think that the two major institutions that are trying to set basically change the narrative. Despite the political alignment with George Weah, do their solution. But if you follow the professional guys at the fishery department, you notice that they are more professional in political. But all other agencies and ministry, almost everybody doing the politics. Nobody wants to do professional work. People are doing our service work. When the president posts a picture, minister, assistant minister will abandon their activity. They share the president picture. All they go on Facebook is to check who all for or against the government. If there's a rally, they will ask the HR, the director to see how best they can convince a non-political person to attend the program in order to make the area park. For instance, political gathering, civil service, they have right to work. Whatsoever they want to work, they have right to move. Whatsoever they want to move. You can't coerce them to take your party t-shirt to go to a party rally. No, meaning going against a constitutional right, they have the right to associate. So if the father, I'm a civil servant and work with Ministry of Finance, and as I have to follow standard 2 if you decide to go to CDC headquarters, now my responsibility.
So do you hold the view that this whole idea about this pro agenda is not actually resonating with the people? Do you hold a view that?
But you are aware that since the government promised 1 million job, where is the job? The last time I listened to the finance minister, he said the government provided from the 7 million plus job. So how about I think we give job to our colleagues in the Western Belt. For instance, I think we're starting a job to Sierra Leone, we're starting a job to Ivory Coast, maybe Ghana and the rest of the country because at 5% of our population, we are less than 6 million. How can you create 27 million jobs? That's a complete waste of time.
So you think it is a statement that's rooted in lies? Do you think so?
The first thing God doesn't say right. Mm-hmm. If you go to public area, you want to fake yourself, he leaves for honor you. What happened to Twain? The first thing, Twain aware that he took all this country, he was sending a 25 kg bag of rice for $15. What's the current cost? You are a media person, you follow, you can eat. They go above $13. We discussing $17, $18. What happened to the exchange rate? Recently, we're discussing 130, 140, now we're discussing 180, 184, 185. The press sat at ERBC. He doesn't want to give reason why the exchange rate it is why it is. But he trying to justify that basically people take money with the rate. For what purpose? The last time I checked, you received 25 million US dollars. You say you're doing more for SSR, trying to reduce the inflow of Liberian dollars. So you pump in more US dollars to reduce the SL liquidity. What happened?
You being the public relations officers for Unity Party Maserati chapter, you must have a clue of what President or Joseph Wackart 100 days in office should he be given the opportunity by the Liberian people. What do you think could President Wackart future them? I'm speaking in the future.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, President Wackart, should he be given the chance to serve, the opportunity to serve the Liberian people? What do you think, or what do you think, or what do you envisage as his key priorities to actually adjust the situations? Because you are always talking about the level of poverty in the country. We're talking about the way the government is proceeding. Do you think could be Joseph Wackart core areas of focus should he be given the mantle of authority in 2023?
The first thing we are going to overwhelmingly audit the entire government, all ministry and agency. Nobody will be allowed to leave this country except the auditor, because no one excuse tomorrow the auditor going to you say, oh, the other auditor travel is sick with this. The first thing you're going to get accountability. If you took all the government for Eastern, you are serving as assistant minister and you get 4 to 5 story building, you're going to justify to the auditor how you got those money to build those property. We're not going to say we allow people to take over government money, build property for yourself after you are already retired from the position and you enjoy you and your family, you're going to get account. So the first 100 days, we are discussing accountability.
But do you hold the view that Liberians are interrelated, and because of that, it will actually cripple the speed of the investigations?
Why would it take that the former finance minister be audited and give account of his scholarship? You serve a finance minister for 6 years, and another government come and say, Mr. Finance Minister, what have you done over the past 6 years? Oh, yes, you signed SYZ agreement because you finance minister. Normally, you can sign on behalf of the government. So, what have you done? So, if you notice that 8 or 9 billings belongs, quote unquote, belong to the finance minister, you give account. Where's your salary? You took loan. Where you took the loan from? Where's the history? Can we trace the loan you took? Can we trace your payment plan? How you got the money to build this property? Would I like to just say because Copper Person is friendly with the finance minister, so if we embark on auditing the finance minister, will expose Copper Person, in fact, there'll be rivalry between Copper family and the finance minister family. No, we are discussing the government. We are crying all the time that people sit in government position, they loot the area. They are looting on hard skills. There's no fear. People who live in 2-bedroom house years back, they're living in duplexes. They're riding cars, like even above that status. So the first thing, if you work for 500, we'll do analysis 500 times 6, multiply by 12 times 24. We'll do analysis, right? So the first thing, per month, you make 500, multiply 500 times 12, that 1 year, multiply by 6. So do analysis on benefit. So you cannot tell me that you work for 500, after 6 years, you can acquire 1 million.
After 6 years, you can acquire.
It's an irony. Where you took the money from? Why you put the money in which bank? World Bank. After every 2 million, they have two or 3,000 in it. And that person to give account of all those things, because if we allow the people to go sit home after they serve 6 years, President Blanca will struggle. It will be worse. People will protest. You know, you go for 2-3 years, you leave the presidency because people, get nothing remain a cover to start. So we are going to audit the government. They are going to give accountability of every cents and dollar that they receive as institutional here.
As you are going to audit and you are going to mount pressures to ensure that every cent and dollars that was siphoned by current government officials can be accounted for. That is the voice. So, folks, we are in conversation with political Copper Passaway on the Focal Point. This is the original platform of the Legal Communications Incorporated. We are located along the Japan Freeway, specifically in Copper community. So, let's talk about this other issue. A lot of people, independent mind Liberians, and even those from the other angle of the opposition party, the likes of the ANC, the other opposition political party, do hold the view that Joseph Boakai should not be perceived as this quote unquote rescue message because he has previously worked in the past government and as such he doesn't have the kind of reputations or the kind of integrity to talk about or to criticize President Buya. What's the reaction to this particular statement?
Thank you. I think we need to provide more education on president and vice president because as a vice president, read the constitution saying you are a helpmate to the president. If the president doesn't give you the opportunity to function in certain capacity, you will not function. If you do that, you're going to call it a broke for instead of the government to go and do the vice president and ambassador Flower Taylor decided to travel outside the country with all the accuracy of the president. Joshua brought her back to her knees. He said, no, madam, you are going too fast. You have to get permission before you go to represent the capacity. So as a vice president, you can look after your boss.
So do you hold to the analogy produced in 2017 by former vice president that he was a
race car
racing car park in the garage?
Sure. The first thing, there's no way a brand new race car can be proactive except put on the tree.
But he was receiving 2 million in the budget, but there are allegations that he was receiving 2 million in the budget.
Until the proof can be given to the public, we'll take it as allegation, we'll just move ahead because all the time you've been hearing 2 million, 2 million. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? The government presided over the country for like 6 years. Why cannot they publish the 2 million that were given to the vice president? These are just cliche. These are stories to make the vice president look ugly. The vice president is in the government feature that trend over with what we call note to the current vice president. In fact, the ceremony was here at the Capitol building. In fact, after that program, the current vice president went at the home of the past vice president and gave him a courtesy. All ability whatsoever trend what to want. So the fact that currently we have the vice president, right? She goes 6 years. Can you all down some of those things she has done? Say you're a journalist. Can you do that?
So let us drive.
If difficult, right?
Let's drive into another issue.
I know it's difficult, right? Because
no.
These are things that when we ask those people in the government, can you all down some of the things that the current vice president has done to move this country forward 6 years? They say, oh, but we don't want to donate the face to community rule. So you are telling other Ambassador Braga should not take credit for the Buchanan Road. You should not take credit for Morovia to Ganta Road. You should not take credit. The two Andersons at the Capitol Building should not take credit for the ministerial complex. Ambassador Braga should not take credit for those things. The current Samara driver should not take credit for it.
Okay. Oh, let us try to talk to. So while we are discussing with Little Copper Pass Away, you can place in your call. You can place in your call your questions and your comments so that we can be able to read it loud. So, Mr. Passaway, because this is a newly online platform where we try to do our possible best to. So we suggest calls and comments from other people and we read them to you so that you can be able to adequately respond to them. So first of all, let's begin to acknowledge those who are watching. We have Andy Jala. He says, I'm following from 30th Street Factory around the Portals Factory. We have Sumoji Bade. We have Ambassador Mohammed Fani Kane. He said, I'm closely following. We have President Moba. He said, Copper, you are strong. We have George Watkins Jr. He said, good evening, everyone. I'm following live from my comfort zone in District 13, Montserrat County, Liberia. We have Amos Tamba Senior. He said, I'm following from Sample A community. We have Tony Flex. We say, all you guys, okay, let's move over. We have Daddy S. Sumantood, following from New Georgian Estate. We have S. Amos Tamba. Okay, Amos Tamba post a question. I will read the questions. Then S. Amos Tamba the question. He posted. two questions. I don't know after what which one of the positions do you feel necessary that we you answer the question? Should I read it randomly and we'll be able to respond to it randomly?
Yeah.
What's your suggestion? Okay, okay. How is the party coordinating with local and national elections officials to ensure a fair and transparent election process? How is your party coordinating with local and national elections officials to ensure a fair, transparent election process?
Yes, our party is structured in a way we have the vice chair for inter-party and NEC affairs, that's Colina Kratoba. So when it comes to election commission issue, she goes there, represent the party adequately, she come back and brief the party leadership, that is the National Executive Committee of the party. Whatsoever election commission tells her, she briefs the party, will have reaction to it, the party respond to her directly.
All right. Another question he posted, he said, how does the Unity Party of North Colorado County plan to build and maintain public trust in the elections app regardless of the outcome itself?
And yeah, for the past time, we have questioned the neutrality of the National Election Commission, but we went through the process 2019 and 2020 with Senator Darrell Zedon. At that time, the CPP was forceful, and we used competent and qualified pool washer in order to man the various pools. We saw the result. Before Election Commission announced the result, the final result, we already have a tally sheet in our master room. We did analysis, and the result came, we were on par. So we are working with our leaders in the various counties. For each state in the various districts, we have 17 districts in most of the country. We have leadership structure from 1 to 8. And we have up to 34 to 35 Zoom in the various districts. So if you do analysis, meaning we have policy, we are prepared and ready to represent the party to the various people.
You are prepared. So, this is one key question that I want you to respond. You may not be called with the mantle of authority as per the party structures, but what is this issue with what is the current relationship? If I talk about current relationship, I mean cordial relationship with former talk show host Henry Costa and that of the Unity Party.
As I speak to you, we still moving strong, right? Until Henry Costa and come all FC, I'm not supporting Ambassador Baga openly before we break tie with him politically. But for the record, since the ambassador announced his running mate, Robert Jeremiah Kun, Costa said he wanted to be, but the Senate bill under the Constitutional Unity Party give you the sole right to select who you feel comfortable working with. So he said on Jeremiah Kun, and we are moving as a political party. Since the announcement, he has sent a complete strong message to the government that they don't need to do more because we have a son of Nima County. If you do analysis on the register of voter, Nima County is one of the counties that can swallow all the southeastern votes. So it's a targeted era, right? If the party cannot get 60% vote, we are 100% sure or 50% vote for Nima County because the son of Nima, because he has been tested. He's a lawmaker who won the representative seat twice. He won the senatorial election 2020. He won the election. So it suggests that he's a strong president, and Nima County is lack, Lofa is lack.
But even before when Joseph Waka did pick Jeremiah Kun, I noticed that Costard posted on his official Facebook page that silence is golden. What is your interpretations about Costard's statement that silence is golden?
I think Costa is under obligation to answer his silence because I'm not a mind reader, I don't read your mind. So I think Costa is the best person to answer that question.
Costa is the best person to answer the question. So, even though the decision has been made by finals by common Vice President Joseph Dimabwaka, as you correctly said, that the mantle of authority lies squarely within the hands of the political leader of the party to make a decision. What do you think, as an executive member of the party, what do you think must have been the factors taken into considerations that trigger the decision for former Vice President Joseph Dimabwaka to have preferred Jeremiah Kun?
Thank you. You see, the standard of the party does not just take decision overnight. He watched the political activities, he followed people, he reached out to stakeholders, and he had conversation with them. And he presented two pressing names. Those two persons are Senator Lawrence of Great Bassa County and Jeremiah Kum. So because we noticed that Liberty Party have the 30 man, we feel both have been implemented to distraction for us in the opposition. So we decided to work with the MDR, headed by Jeremiah, who is the political leader of the MDR, because the former political leader is Honorable Prince Johnson. So we did the regression analysis on the vote intake, the county, the individual, the younger of the person, the anything the person are, and the person history when it comes to election. So we found out Jeremiah Kun, Honorable Jeremiah Kun went to Nima County, he contested one, twice, and later he became senator. We look at the vote intake, we look at the relationship. He speaks for us well also. He had root with the Southeast. So the Standard Brigade Party look at all those ingredients. Instead, I think selecting Ambassador Honorable Jeremiah Kun will add more value to this ticket. So the rescue ticket is one of the strongest ticket currently. The government entire focus on the rescue ticket. No other people in the government can discuss besides the rescue ticket.
Okay. When Costa came into the country a few months back, he said something that particular program, when he came to Liberia, we saw a whole bunch of supporters behind him, and he was privileged to make a particular statement. That statement got many of you talking from the Unity Party angle, and all parts of the country, people were also talking. So my question is, will the Unity Party support Heron Costa in his bid to become the next senator of Montreal County?
That's a fun question, right? Until Costa can come back to the public and tell us whether or not he contested for the senatorial election, we are moving ahead. As an institution, Unity Party, we are moving ahead because the election is next due, October 10th. So to participate in a major and critical election, you should be prepared. You should announce your interest.
You feel that Costa is not prepared?
As far as concerned, Costa is yet to announce that you're contesting against Joseph. For the record, as far as concerned, he's yet to announce. Yes. Since the selection of Jeremiah Kun, he's yet to announce whether or not he participated in the election.
Okay. What all right, a segment of Unity Party auxiliary that was controlled by one of the doctors of Benenoud, Wilfred Uri, Taylor Uri, Unity and those JMB think tank. What is the relationship with? Do you think that the Unity Party still has that kind of mountain of authority over the think tank?
The think tank currently she has new chairperson. Currently have new chairperson because what happened prior to the announcement of Jeremiah Kun as the running mate to Bwakai, Honorable Tina Yue, let me appreciate her opening that she worked with us. She did extremely well. She organized program. She brought idea on the table for people to join the team. But after the announcement of the running mate, and we saw her body language, her activities. So in order to hold the entire auxiliary hostage, the fact that our chairperson is not very active, we're not getting no signals, so it better somebody else manage the institution because we are going to major election. So that's how she got replaced by someone else. And the teachers on track, they are moving, they're doing that work.
But what do you think could be the better interpretations for the silence or the body language, as you regularly said, that for which Stella is no longer bringing the kind of resounding ideas, the kind of zest towards the growth and sustainability of the think tanks?
Maybe in her mind she has political ambition. She has maybe she had interest in the running mate stuff, but it didn't go her way, so she decided to remain silent. So until she can come to the public and say, I'm no longer supporting the presidential ambition of Ambassador Bwakai, then we can take on to her. But for now, her silence remains her silent until she can speak out.
Do you think that the silence is risky?
For her politically risky for her, but for the rescue mission, we are moving ahead. The last movement we made was in District 13 at the football field. Colina Kratoka brought the standard bearer and she showcased herself. She brought musicians in her program and we went through the program. It was successful. We left.
With the number of people in attendance, do you think that the District 13 actually responded to the rescue missions?
Oh yes, because the fact that Colina Kratoka didn't bring buses here and there, they didn't bring or women t-shirt. People keep winning it to celebrate her, to showcase that she has control over her constituents. She has control over district. So I think in her mind, she did her best until the election day can come and the election commission can announce the winner of the election. She still remain a very strong force for anybody thinking to replace Papi Fromos to work with. She remain a strong force. She has been working all the time and she has expanded her base. She's working. See what she's working. And she has the pedigree to serve her representative. I wish I had voting right to vote for her in that district. But unfortunately, my boss mate is a lawmaker. She's going for re-election. So that one vote, I have to give it to him.
Okay, you have to give. But do you think that the people actually responded? Are you of the conviction that District 18 Unity Party will actually accumulate the kind of vote you think?
She's a force to battle with it. Anybody decide to remove Honorable Fromo, she's one of those persons that stand very tall to replace him. She's doing her work. She's working all the time. Just by little resources she has, she's a female with all the bullying. She's still moving the trenches. She's going to the favorite community district. You see, at best, she can convince the people on her side. And she's a young person. So if she go to the process and she does not win the process, she has future process to participate in. So the fact that she broke the stone, she in the process with all of the challenges, she doesn't have money, right? She's a young person who you can see, like your peer, you talk together, your move. She has the ability to convince, she has an age or achievement. She's someone people should watch out for in the future.
She's somebody people should watch out for. So, considering the fact that we have touched almost everywhere, is the Unity Party, just in case the Unity Party did not manage or may not be able to acquire the 50 plus one vote as prescribed by the Constitution, it helped be purged in terms of finance, in terms of willingness to collaborate with other political institutions to rescue Liberia in the Unity Party wars. How people is the Unity Party? Should we have a scenario where there is a second round?
You know, every election result has its own momentum, right? For instance, if we go to the process and the Unity Party accumulate 40% and CDC is crying behind her with 32%. All those political parties that participate in the process, they'll feed their mind that I think it's Joe Bakata. So instead of going on a long table, holding and pulling, bluffing, they'll just give it up for Joseph Bakata in order to go in the process with much tension because you know the road election. So many things can take place. Promises can be made. Let us sit on the table. Oh, pledge support to me. We'll take over. We'll give you the ministry agency. These are things that people did in the past, and they didn't realize that. I always see Jim Barney fall apart from.
Do you see that kind of cooperation coming from Alexander Cummings of the ANC?
Oh, it don't necessarily have to be Alexander Cummings as individual, right? But the photo will decide because the political leader can make decisions. Say, let us go this way. But for me, in my own mind, I feel that the authority of this person, I don't have to come and tell you a disagree in the public, right? Time to vote, the runoff election, I go and vote for my choice. The political leader statement is a statement, right? He doesn't mean he'll be in the room and tell the president, you ANC president, vote for the president because I see this. You made a pronouncement and he left for the supporter to decide whether or not our country is making progress or it's going backward. So when the runner comes, I can tell you for free, there will be change, alignment, realignment, people coming with interest. People come with different conditions to support TK.
So that was the voice. That is the voice of political Cooper passed away. He has been here. We have been talking critical national issues. We have even spoken about issues, internal issues within the party, Unity Party as a whole. So, Mr. Cooper, because we are pressed for time, what final message do you have for Liberians as we move towards the electionary period?
Thank you. The first thing is peace. As a young person, I know our country, where we come from, we read history. So I urge every young person or the entire population remain peaceful. If you for your institution, discuss your institution and leave other people's institution because the more you go into other people's institution, you discuss them negatively, it will trigger anger and you guys will abandon the election and get into different things than face fight. So we want to avoid face fight and we discuss issue. If you feel that your candidate is the best candidate, put forth the argument, convince. For instance, CDC, you guys are being power for 6 years. Convince the public. Come on, those things that the government has done, you feel the government deserves re-election. Post those information out there. For instance, the government promised a job. The job the government has given to the Liberian people, you get a documentation, you publish documentation. Those roads the government have break about, give the road, give kilometer, attach the kilometer to those roads for Eastern. Dole community can tell from Clarendon to Dole community. You give her the kilometer on the road, you put it on document, you publish it, give a photo. Discuss the embryo in Bapolu. These are things government able to say Joseph Boga is sleeping, Joseph Boga go Ghana, he's on hospital. These are trivial issues. Liberian people, we're not buying to those things because when it comes to age, it's a grace. Everyone on this I pray to reach your Joseph Boga age. Currently a stage scoring moving politically. We get people they are less than 60. They can't even walk. They're using glasses to read. You follow Joseph Boga activity. He doesn't use glasses to read. Joseph Boga read for it. They can desperate people say you can sleep. But it's a school pressing, right? If you had the opportunity to interact with that strong experience, old man, you know that leadership is a gift from God directly. So my message to young people in our society is let us preach our politics clean. Let us stop getting impressionable because the more we go dirty, we do to ourselves because people are following our activities. Sometimes we go dirty because you go dirty. You don't go on social media and didn't grade my leader. You're expecting to provide and warning to your leader that will suit your leader. No, I'm going to go nasty too. But as we go closer to election, our neighboring country, Sierra Leone, just go through a process. They go Saturday. Though it's not easy, the tension is there, but the talent is going on. People are doing tabulation. And the election commission will pronounce the winner. If you're not satisfied, you use a rule of law. The court process is there. But to get on the screen and demand that you win. Because what happened in Sierra Leone, I followed the situation last night. APC pronounced that she won the election. SLPP says she won the election too. So it's not very easy there. So as we learn from Sierra Leone, they had a very peaceful election. That are really peaceful and go through the process successfully because the auto election is a history right now. Ambassador Boga is the president in waiting. I can say that for fact.
Ambassador Boakart is the next president in waiting. That was the voice of political Cooper pass away. He has been our guest. So he has been our guest where we talk on critical national issues in Liberia. So we are here. Thank you to all of our viewers, to all of our people, our regular followers. We want to say a very big thank you to all of you for being there with us as we move on. Thanks to Mohammed Van Kanen, who served as my producer, and he was co-assisted by Eric Paulo Collins and Great Finan Pa, who has just left. Thanks to all of you. My biggest thanks goes to Andy Rupert Jalal for providing us such a unique opportunity to be able to grow ourselves in a very unique way. So many thanks to all of you. Many thanks to all of you. Many thanks to all of you. Let us just bring down a moment of musical interlude to serve as a control. Thank you.
Pas de menu. Oui. Faut que pas de thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief.
Yeah,
we look forward to doing more business with the new party this elections.
Well,
No, we're not contesting. No, we're not contesting. For the what's that for